Creating extruded models. We can extrude a two-dimensional object into a 3D solid or a surface. Our extrude command allows us to pull or push 2D objects such as lines, arcs, elliptical arcs, 2D polygons, 2D splines, circles, ellipses, all kinds of things, donuts, into a three-dimensional shape. So if the object is closed, such as a circle, it will create a solid extrusion. If the object is open, such as a line or an arc, it will create a surface extrusion. And extrusions can be straight or they can be on a curve. So let's go and take and draw a polygon here. So we'll click on a polygon and we'll say number of sides is 6, and we'll specify the center at 0, 0. Enter. We'll go inscribe and we'll say there we go. Alright, now we'd like to extrude this particular polygon, and we're going to go up to the modeling tab in our home tab, and we're going to go to extrude. We click on extrude. There we go. And we click on extrude and we select our 2D object. After we found the 2D object, I can hit enter, and now I can key in a value. Now if I put in a positive value, it's going to go to the positive Z. If I put in a negative value, it'll go down into the negative Z. If I can do it dynamically, it's going to be positive either way. It doesn't matter which way I have my cursor pulled. So I'll put in, say, 100. And there it is. Okay. Now, I'm going to undo that. And undo that. Let's do that again. Let's do extrude. Let's hit it, and let's type in a negative. Let's say 20. Notice how it goes down this time. So right now we made a solid out of this because this thing was a solid. Let's go and take something like an arc, and now when we extrude it, then we hit enter, and we'll go up with a say 20. We get a surface. That's just a surface. It's not really a 3D. It does not have mass. This will actually have mass. This will have a center of gravity, etc., because it's a solid. Let's draw another one here. And let's draw something like a polygon. And now let's go up into extrude, and notice we have the mode. When I select that mode, it gives me the choice of being a solid or a surface. So by default, it's going to kick into a solid. So it's going to make every closed object a solid. But if I really want it to be a surface, I could choose a surface. I'm going to do that. I'm going to select surface, and I'm going to hit enter, and you notice how I got a surface out of that. Let's go and do one more here. And if I go up to extrude and I select on the object and I hit enter, notice I have a variety of options down here. One of them is a tapered angle, and a tapered angle is I can actually tell it I want to have a draft or a taper to it. I click on the taper angle and it says specify the angle of the taper, and I'm going to say, oh, I want a 10%. Well, let's make it a little more so you can see it. So I'll say it's 20, and now I have it. You can see how it tapers, and I'll say the height is 10. And now you can see that it tapers. All right. So there we go. So we can always put a taper on it, and we can go anywhere from a negative 90 degrees to a positive 90 degrees. So it can be a little bit of taper, a lot of taper. Typically we have these like in molds. If you think of a cake mold or something, we have about a 5 to 10 degree taper to get the parts out of the mold. And so these can go basically we want to go with solids. Stay away from the surface as much as possible. We want to go with solids, and in the long run solids will always work better than surfaces, but every once in a while you just need a surface for visual, and you don't really need it for anything as far as practicality, if you will. So an extrusion is up here, and we extrude basically anything into a 3D solid or a 3D surface. And so we have the extrude command as our first way of getting things from 2D to 3D.